Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I am Britt, creator of The Style Shaker, your guide to cleaner, greener beauty. Today though, I am back with a very special video. It has taken me a month to get here and I'm excited. This is a results video based off of 30 days of going full DIY with my skincare. Pictures of before and afters, tips that I learned along the way, it's all coming up. So stick around and grab a cup of coffee, tea, wine, whiskey, whatever floats your boat. Water, lemonade, I'll keep going. Let's dive into it. All right, first up, I am wearing the Elate lipstick in the color Tantric. I will have a link to that below because you guys like to know that information and I like you and I like that you like to know it. If you like seeing these types of videos and my reviews and want to see more of them, make sure you give this video a thumbs up. It really helps to support the channel. And as always, don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another one like this. So it was a simple idea. I was gonna stop using the skincare I had and use only DIY crafted, handcrafted at home skincare for 30 days just to see like what's gonna happen. Is my skin gonna blow up? Is it gonna be fine? Is it gonna be better off? That was kind of my hope. Speaking of hopes, I had some goals. They were very, very simple goals and there were two of them. Actually, I think there were three. There were three. I lied. First goal, reduce the amount of redness that was along my cheeks primarily. It was really just right here. It was right here. And it was this redness and discoloration and I didn't like it and I kept seeing more of it as the weeks progressed and years, and let's not go there. The second goal was to get rid of the dryness that was happening on the skin, primarily around the forehead. I had a lot of dryness there and also dryness on the cheeks, which was probably helping with that lovely redness I was experiencing. The natural flush, we'll call it. The third goal I had was just to increase my skin's vibrancy. Like I wanted my skin to be vibrant again. I just saw it looking really dull. It wasn't happy. It was kind of mad at me. It was trying to tell me something. So I wanted to give it a little bit of a breather and try something new. So those were my three goals. And I really approached this like it was an elimination diet, except for my face and the skincare, obviously. So I was getting rid of everything and then I would start incorporating it back in. That's the second phase. This is all about the first phase, which is the topical application of stuff. It is important to note that I was highly inspired by a lot of research I've been doing with Ayurvedic skincare. I read a book and then I just nosedived into so many different things. Found out my dosha and all the rest of it. I like Ayurveda because the approach to skincare is a holistic one. Plus I was just like incredibly excited about it, so I had to try it. Quick disclaimer, this video is not intended to be a substitute for professional advice. I know this will surprise nobody, but I am not a doctor. I know, I'm not a dermatologist, I'm not a medical physician. I do highly recommend that you consult an expert if you need to. We're on the internets here, we gotta make sure that we're covering all the bases, dotting all the I's, crossing all the T's. It's the world we live in. Here is the process that I used. It's very simple as well. There were three goals. There are three steps. They are cleanse, nourish, which I really am into that word, and moisturize. So those were the three steps that I followed twice a day. 3 steps, twice a day. You got it. I followed easy, simple recipes that I found in this book. I will list below for you to check out for yourself. A lot of you have already bought it. Hopefully you're having as much fun as I did. If not, sorry. I followed those recipes. Then I got more books with more recipes. So again, rabbit hole. And then I made a couple of adjustments along the way. These were based on my dosha, which is pitta. There's a leading dosha, and then your skin might be showing signs of an imbalance for another dosha. All of that is to say that I was showing a vata imbalance this is not from a specific Ayurvedic practitioner. This is a Britt Ayurvedic perspective, okay? I was showing vata imbalance, and yet I am a pitta. Evidently this happens. See, it's fun. It's like, what? It's a hugely complex topic. So I'm just staying right at the top of it. So here are some of the tips that I wanted to share with you that I learned as I went through this process, and I will show you how I pulled these together. Some of these recipes you just won't like, and that's totally fine. It's a little bit of trial and error. The nice thing here is you're not spending 70 bucks on a serum and then going, oh my God, that doesn't work for me. For example, there was one recipe that included heavy cream, a little bit of lemon juice, and I thought that's kind of cool, that's interesting. I didn't like it. I don't know what it was. It was a personal reaction. I wasn't a fan of it and I left that out. So what I'm saying there is You don't have to go exactly by the book. Just have fun with it and try different things out. Another thing that's really interesting and cool to note is that these formulas don't always contain water. 2 out of the 3 formulas do not have water automatically in them for the recipes I was looking at. Water is added after, which makes a lot of sense because you don't have all those extra preservatives here, which was really something I had to keep my eye on because I didn't want them to spoil and then put that on my face and have huge breakouts. And the cool thing is you can basically eat any of these. Do I recommend that? No, I don't. But you could in case you wanted a snack. The essential oils that I purchased, and I'll get to budget in a second, you can extend the shelf life on a lot of the essential oils that you own by popping them in the fridge. There's a lot of different information about this. I'm not an expert on this, and I know some people might have a lot to say on the topic, which is totally welcome. There's a lot of different ways to make this stuff last longer, which also stretches the budget even further, and it's really already so much less expensive than what I was doing before. And I have a quick kind of tip sheet for you below in the video description. Take a look at that and you'll see what oils that I used. I needed to refrigerate, which is basically all of them. And you gotta make room in your fridge for it. That's the biggest part because during self-quarantine, it got a little crowded. We managed, we did okay. I already mentioned that the containers I used were upcycled containers, which is fantastic. I didn't go through anything new. I didn't buy anything new there. I just repurposed, which made me feel very good in my soul for the earth. The citrus oils that I use, you want to be very careful with those. From what I learned, they can make you photosensitive. Read up on that. If it's just a drop, it's not as dangerous, but then again, don't take my word for it. Everybody's skin is different. Look into that. Just know that that is something that you want to look at, especially if you're worried about sun damage, which who isn't? The scent I thought was pretty nice. It wasn't perfect. It was a little different. Like geranium for some reason threw me off a little bit, but neroli, hello, that was amazing. Also, I got a blend of neroli because it's actually really expensive. So I wasn't perfect with this. I wasn't precious with this. Just know that, and you'll see in the results that it worked either way. The application, lighter, light touch. Light hand, don't go crazy. Use a dropper, couple of drops, that's all you need, and there's directions in the book on that. One of the nights I put way too much of that cocoa butter mixture on my face, and I'm telling you, it felt grossy. You know, if you put on too much in the morning, it's not good for makeup application. So less is more, which is basically my favorite thing in the world to say over and over and over again. My cat loves it. Okay, budget, let's talk budget, right? I started this whole thing at the beginning of a pandemic, which seems like a good time to me. I don't see why not. That's me being sarcastic. Shopping online, couldn't go into store, made it a little challenging. Now I think that it's a little bit easier. I mentioned that because I think it was a tad more expensive. I spent about $70 total with everything that I bought, and that is going to last me at least 3 months, if not 6. So when you spread it out like that, the price here compared to spending, minimum skincare, 45 bucks. Minimum, like rarely do I see something for 45. It's usually at least 70 or above. So this is definitely, and as I suspected it would be, way easier on the budget. But does it work? Right, I know. So here we go. I mentioned I have a video if you want to see the week 1 update. You can see in that video, really quickly, I saw a very big difference in redness. I'm talking in days, which was surprising. It led me to conclude in my own head, not a doctor, my skin was dry and starving for good, nourishing moisture. I saw it real fast and I thought, something's wrong here. This is too easy. There's no way this could be possibly working this fast. So the neuroses came up and I was like having a problem with it. And then I realized, okay, let's just calm down and settle into it and be okay with the fact that it's actually working, and life can sometimes hand you an easy button and you should press it. Week 2, redness pretty much diminished, and then week 3 is where it got kind of interesting. I started picking up my workouts a little bit more, sweating more as a result of that, which is fine. I found my skin to be a little bit more sensitive than usual. These little breakouts would just sort of pop up. It wasn't cystic, it wasn't multiple bumps. It was just like, oh, just a pimple out of nowhere. Tweaked a little bit, I washed my face a little bit more, and then I was on my last week and my skin was still looking good and the redness was still gone, and I was like, this is great. I can't wait to report back to my friends and my family and my YouTube people. And then, hello dryness, my old friend. Where have you been? I thought you were gone for good. No, wasn't. Just in time for my results. I was annoyed, but I was also really glad it happened because it allows me to tell you that this is not a perfect process. I really kind of was thinking it was the second coming there for a minute. So this was a good reality check. I think this will be more helpful to you. And you guys know I'm not gonna lie to you. So I had to tell you that the dryness came back, but it was very localized and it was right along my chin. This started happening when, you guys know I ramped up my video production from 2 to 4. I also have a full-time job that also got really busy, and I'm very, very, very grateful for everything. Please don't misconstrue what I'm saying here. I'm just saying the stress level went up like everybody else in the world right now. As a result, we all handle it differently. I stopped drinking water because when I get in the zone on these projects and when I get in the zone on editing for these videos, you can't, it's like a gamer. You know how they say they just don't get up, they don't eat, and they don't do anything? I feel like that. I can get into that zone and then I don't take care of myself. And that is the correlation here. It led to a couple of things. First things first, I had to start looking at what changed, like what caused this, what is my skin trying to tell me? A good solution that I started to incorporate here, which is already getting into the holistic inside out approach, is journaling. I haven't been able to stick with it for more than a day recently, but I highly, highly recommend it, even though I'm not doing it right now. I've done it in the past. I'm about to just start doing that. Take 5 minutes for myself in the morning, 5 minutes at night. Look at what's going on. What am I eating? What is my mood like? Where am I in my cycle? Like all the things. Did I get outside that day? That was the other thing I noticed. The outside time went to like nil. But usually this happens because of stress. This is like the latest manifestation of it for me. So journaling is one of the solutions. This is actually a really good thing. I don't know why I waited till the end, but for those of you that stuck around, wink, I wasn't using any masks, and that was a huge benefit because normally I would use one midweek to resurface because my skin would get a little rough because of the dryness. I really didn't need one until day 25, like 25 days of this, and I did not feel rough skin at all. This is progress over perfection for sure. The journal's gonna help. And I am going to keep an integrative, open mind on skincare. I still like to try different things like a bakuchiol serum because Herbivore discontinued theirs and now you guys are like, what do we use? What do we do? I wanna test those out. You know, there's gonna be some crossover. I'm not gonna do full Ayurveda. I am that kind of way in a lot of respects in my life. I like to take the best of both worlds and sort of make my own thing that works for me. So I'm gonna continue doing that. And overall though, I think this was a really positive experience. If you couldn't tell, I was kind of happy about it. Let me know what you think about trying DIY skincare out. Do you have some favorite recipes that you've used in the past? That actually would be hugely helpful. If you could leave those below, or just any questions that you have, constructive comments, stuff like that. Let's keep the conversation going and positive. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up to support the channel. It really does help. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another video like this one. I'm gonna go test some more skincare and makeup and all the other stuff, and I will see you guys right back here real soon. Until then,